So I ain't even gonna complain.
Good, 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 good.
So I
Well,
didn't get the sheet from you,
didn't get any sheets, but
but it's fine. But no, what I was gonna say is fine this time because I'm gonna let you lead with because you said you wanted 2 hours. So in my mind, I'm thinking you have something that apparently you want to talk about and do. Because usually I would go off, whatever you sent me on the sheet. So it's fine. We'll do like an open coaching session around what you talked about, some of the stuff you have going on. So it's fine. Okay. So that's
okay.
what you know. So I'm gonna be expecting you to help me coach you. That makes sense.
Yeah, that is definitely fine because the real deal with the sheets is that not a lot of progress has happened from the
Mm-mm, that's
sheet.
not that's not true. Because what did you tell me happened? What are we supposed to be
Now, the South
discussing?
Africa trip is what we're going to talk about today, right?
Yeah. So
That
that's progress though.
that is that now that part is,
Yes. So it doesn't have to
but
be
not based
everything.
on the sheet. That's
Okay.
all. That's
Well,
all.
no,
So
the pre-call sheet. I need that so it helps me determine what we're going to talk about today. Does that make
uh,
sense? Because I don't want to miss anything that you want to talk about. That's all I'm saying. So it helps me to say, okay, well, let me go back up the sheet because she said this, that she did this and she wanted to do this. So that's what that helps. Since I don't have that, I'm just saying I just want you to help me, whatever you need. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, she didn't ask me about that. But that's the reason. Okay.
not a problem. Yes, I
Okay.
get it. I get it. I
Okay.
get it.
Well, I'm excited for you. I was over here screaming and shouting like somebody crazy when I read your message.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. You know, we just know it's opportunity. That's
Right.
the bottom.
That's right.
Now, I get a little, and I'm learning how to be more patient. But one thing about Dr. Bailey's ministry, and it's not just her,
Mm-hmm.
but in general, you I know you have an eye when you see things. You have people working for you, and they're not in order. It's like she has this team, and I know a lot of it is her being a mentor
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm. Yes.
these young ladies. So I understand that she's giving them space to learn, but at the same time, if you're dealing with somebody's money, if you're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with somebody, there should be a process in place.
Right.
So I was real quick to respond. I don't know how many people responded, but you
Okay.
know, it's just it's like, okay, you sent out some stuff, and I caught it. I said, you have the wrong year, and you have some dates that don't line up because you're working from something old and you're sending this out. And so her ministry goes around the world. So my point was,
Yeah.
why would you not double check those dates,
Okay.
and that year? So I just kind of just said, you might want to double check the year. And then the young lady resent everything, and that was cool. But then I asked her, because it's like you can make these payments. And so I inquired about making the payments and getting the basic information like the credit card information, all the stuff that you should already say. This is the process. Like you, for example, you have PayPal, you have everything already set up so people can make whatever option they need and get
Okay.
this handled.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They don't have those things in place.
For
And
the for the trip.
for the trip, for any of her trips, or for anything that they do. So, for example, she has several, like she has a global leadership training that she does every year. So last year I inquired about it, and almost the same thing. The information that I received was the wrong year. Now, I'm sure the curriculum was the same, but it came out the gate with 2015, and it was 2016 when I was looking at the information. So I overlooked it because I was like, well, I'm sure the agenda, the curriculum is
Right.
but the long and short end of it was I had to talk to Dr. Bailey herself to get the right information because her team couldn't handle some basic stuff that I know if it was, you or me or anybody else, it'd be like, look, how come y'all can't get it together?
I know that's right because I've been on somebody this morning. I was like, look, oh, don't worry
Me
about it
too.
because I ain't gonna send you no more tasks. You ain't got to worry about it.
Girl, girl. So that's a whole nother thing. I said, Lord, I only have one VA, and bless her heart, she only does so many hours a week. But see, she gives herself away. it, she told me she's got the rhythm for the posts. She knows when to get them out. She knows because I'm on her case about like hashtags. I said you got several hashtags. I don't mind if she does a few for IG, do a few, in the beginning, and then in the comments do the rest of them
Yeah.
because she's sending them in different places, right? So that's fine. But there's duplicates. So I caught her in the very beginning. I said, just make sure you look out for duplicates and make sure your spelling is correct. So needless to say, that didn't happen right away. And then today I noticed again, I'm like, she's got duplicates. So I went back and I said, I need you to make these corrections. And I said, Lord, maybe I need to explain to her that the hashtags really have significance, because they, I always look at it like you are parking yourself somewhere, somebody else's space. So you want to be able to be present in that space, and you want to make sure you're in the right space, because even with misspelled words, some of them take you on X-rated places. Just by misspelled words.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
See, so I was like, you know what? I don't need to be in the wrong spot. So anyhow, that was one issue. And I mean, it was just all these little things. I said, Lord, am I nitpicking? But after you've said something for so many times, right? And the response that I get back from her is, I got it. Know what you're talking about. Even when we're Skyping.
I was like, what about? Yes.
So I'm like, I don't want to handhold you. I don't want to micromanage you, because in addition to doing the posts, since that's really the easiest thing once you get the rhythm and you're doing it in advance where you know what you're going to extract, I'm giving you all the content. All you have to do is just pick and, do some of the things that I asked you to do. Then she was supposed to follow up just with IG. I said, I'm going to do LinkedIn, but I just need you to go back to the people that like and the people that, have some kind of comment. Go back to them and like you and I were talking about cold calling. I didn't use the word cold call with her. I just said, just go back to them and invite them personally to take advantage of the 30 minutes. I said, that's all you do. It's a personal invitation. I told her to do that 2 weeks ago. Because 2 weeks ago, she said she had it. 2 weeks ago, she got the down pat because she's only doing 5 hours. She said, yes, I got it down pat. To this day, I don't know until about 10:30 at night what the next post is going to look like, if it's going to be correct. And it's only one. Okay. She's not giving me several in advance. So to me, she ain't got it. No. And the ones that she's been posting lately, I've been giving it to her my goal was to add to, not to use them like the very next day, which is what she's doing. So she's not even working, but she's getting paid. She's not putting forth any effort to do anything different than what I had been giving her that's supposed to be in addition to. So I've got an issue with that. Yeah. And then she has not worked the IG. It's been 2 weeks. In 1 week, the ad is over in 1 week. So she missed almost 3 weeks. I told her, never mind, just forget it. Just forget it. If you can't really do these tasks and you're telling me you got it and you're not doing it, then I got a major problem. So all right now she's supposed to focus on is posting. But the goal is to get enough in Asana, we're using that, put enough up so that I can review them at some point in time, not the night before when I'm getting ready to go to bed and I see, oh, there's the post. And then it's like back and forth to try to make sure it goes out early enough in the morning. So, I was like, Lord, she's still making $12.50 an hour. She can do it. Yeah, she shouldn't have any reason not to be doing that. Yeah, you're right. She's doing too much. What days do you have her days scheduled? Since she's doing 5 hours a week, I don't have anything beyond that. We meet once a week. No, I mean, so it's 5 hours per week. So so she just just whatever the 5 hours, so she can work any day. Okay, got it. Yep, okay, got it. Okay. Because I know she has 2 toddlers. Yeah. Which I didn't realize until one time we were talking on the phone and, all kind of stuff going back, Skyping. And that's when she was apologizing because she's got the little ones with her. So you know what? I'm not tripping on any of that. I get life. Yeah. But I need you to be straight up for real. If you cannot do something, because I feel like I nitpick, but it's like, I don't miss a whole lot. That's not really nitpicking. Because I'm like, she make more money than I am right now. Yeah. That's not nitpicking at all. So I think I agree with you. I'd be doing it. My VAs, I don't even know why they still with me. If they with me, got some tough skin. Do you hear me? I promise you they do.
they have some tough skin because one of them was late on something I'm trying to do, and I was just like, now I'm gonna have to rush this week and try to get it out. And then, and you know, and then so he was late before a couple of weeks ago. So this is what I told him. He's like, well, here I turned in my task sheet because they had to turn a task sheet. So he turned in his task sheet, and I was just like, so I noticed that you have 6 hours up here. You do know you only getting half of those hours because I lost my money, so you're gonna lose half of yours. And I think yes. And then so he was like, oh, that makes sense, Miss Wendy. And I said, and also, guess what? You're supposed to get paid today. I am not going to pay you until I feel like it. You know why? Because that's when you respond to me lately, is when you feel like it. Right? I said, so therefore, I'm going to act like I didn't see your task sheet, like you act like you didn't see some of my messages last week. But he's been with me for 2 years, so he knows me. He was just like, okay. And I was like, so when you see it come in your PayPal, then you know I will pay you. I said, but this is going to teach you to be on time. I don't know what you're doing. I said, but I'm going to need you to get it together. Then so he was just like, he sent me a message saying that he didn't get any tasks this week. And I said, no, then you won't, because until I know that you're going to be on time, you won't be getting, like, giving it to somebody else.
That's good for you, though, because I guess, and they're in another country, and, you know, I don't know. I'm not giving any excuses, but I'm thinking, are you thinking that my kindness means weakness? I don't know. Because when I talk to her on the phone, I'm less stern than when I send that email. And I told her, I said, if I've got to come behind you, I'm in a different headspace. That's exactly what I told her. I said, if I got to come behind you for something that we've already discussed on Skype, then I'm having a difficult time believing you really get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And especially if I'm saying the same thing. Okay, what in the world? Let me log on real quick, because I know my phone is going to use up all this battery juice.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was really feeling some kind of way this morning because I was praying. I said, Lord, I don't want to snap on her all the time, but I did feel like, you know, especially after she got paid last week and the week before last, she didn't turn in her full 5 hours. She did less. And then this week, and I'm saying this week, and actually, you know, I'm a week off. So for last week, she had an extra hour in, right, to make up for what she didn't do the previous week. But I just need her to understand that you don't have that option.
Right.
If you can't get your 5 hours in per week, you don't do 4 hours and then opt to do 6 hours. Because when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the end result. And I'm looking at how many times did you have to redo something. So am I paying you to redo something? Because I shouldn't.
Right.
It should be done correctly, especially if you got it. So that I know I'm gonna have to have that conversation with her. And I'm not trying to be a bee or a jerk.
Yeah. No, you doing right.
Yeah, it's like I don't like to be taken there. But I don't know if because you may feel like I'm not right on you, because I don't enjoy micromanaging.
Yeah.
But if I have to switch hat and do that.
No, you're gonna have to do that, E, because so if it was me, like mine, I don't have to micromanage, because I one of them I'm not paying that. I mean, one of them I'm only paying a fair amount, but I micromanage her to the T. Do you hear me? But then the rest of them, because I'm not really paying them, I give them the task, and now they know if you late, you cost me money, it's gonna cost you money. It's just that simple. But if you do need to micromanage her, because you're paying her and she's getting paid well, like there's no reason why her stuff shouldn't be late. It should be on time. Like, I think that you could also even maybe say to her that, that you put something in place that, listen, and tell her, like I do mine, when I am late, I then miss out on money to pay you. Whatever I earn, that's what I earn to pay you. So that's what I had to say to him. I said, so when I'm missing money, you go miss money. You know what I mean? And I said, so, and then also you can say something like, you know what, I feel like right now, have the conversation like I did one of mine. I said, for the next week, let's see how you do on your task. But because she was high, I said, if you don't, follow through, then I think I need to renegotiate the rate. Let's talk about renegotiating the rate, because I'm paying you more than what I'm actually getting in return. And I want to still work with you, but what you're delivering is not right. So I would have that conversation, because you're paying her too much for her knowledge. She needs to be on top of it, up at night. I'm just saying.
I agree. I really do, because and it would be different if I'm taking up, occupying a lot of her time with a lot of tasks. I'm not giving her a whole lot.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the family life, but I'm sure it's a help. And I don't think I'm her only client. I really didn't ask for that, because all I need to know is you can do what I need done in 5 hours.
Exactly.
So, and if this is a struggle for you, you're right. Then maybe we need to renegotiate, because I don't want to lose her, because I do know I like when she puts it out.
Right.
It's good. We get good response. I told her, I said, you can tell you're doing well. You're getting good response, but I always have to do, like, don't forget to like, don't forget to go back and like, don't forget. And I'm like, oh, I'm like a parrot.
Yeah, that's too much.
It is. And she's quick to go back and do it once I point it out. So I'm like, check your work without me having to tell you to check it. Because if I'm in a different headspace, if after we've had these conversations, I have to come back to you. I'm not that warm and fuzzy, smiley person that you get to interact with on Skype. I become somebody else. And I don't like that.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's crazy. It's people crazy. They are. I'm just saying, for real, these folks that drove me crazy. You hear me? Like, I'm in that mood. I just like, listen, I don't have time for this foolishness. I got them all on a Zoom call. Like, listen, I'm gonna need all y'all to get it together. Everybody on this platform, I need all y'all to get it together, because now we usually have a meeting that's all nice, and then I invited this new VA, right? So that kind of like intimidates the other ones.
I bet it does.
Yeah, they like, what's she there for? And then I ain't let nobody know what nobody's doing. Nobody can't say what. Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh
yeah, because I wanted that. I used to always, so it's kind of like gave everybody this feel like, oh, okay, I know exactly what such and such is doing, so I can kind of relax. She's not doing what I'm doing, but this one, you don't know what nobody's doing.
I love it though. I love it, because they don't know how quickly they can be replaced.
Yes, like don't blame, because everybody can do the same thing you're doing, Johnny.
And that's what I alluded to in the beginning when I said, now I really need a graphic artist. And what I did was I copied something that one of your VAs did, and I copied something that was done for Tamara.
Okay.
And I said, these are the kind of posts, this is the kind of background, this is what I want them to.
That's smart.
Like, so if you can't do it, I guess I'm gonna have to find somebody who can do it like that.
Yep, that's right. That's what I be doing.
Girl, you should have said. She was like, "Oh, I can do that," and she never heard of Canva. She hadn't heard of. So I'm like, "You are social media," because what she sold me on, what I was sold on her resume was that she was a social media manager. So I was like, "Well, what the heck did that mean truly?" If you've never heard of Canva or any of these things, but I guess she never had to really create the I don't know. She said she was used to doing scheduling. She was used to doing all these things, but when it came down to it, I'm like,
you can do it.
Somebody who's familiar with it, I don't see it.
She probably couldn't. They do that a lot too. Sometimes they'll do. I noticed that they'll say that they know how to do X, Y, and Z, and then they don't know how to do it. So it's
I see.
You might even at some point need to just give her a deadline of how you feel and be looking for another one at the same time.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
I agree. Now, she did pick it up when she got to Canva, and she loved Canva. And she likes to do everything by computer, and she doesn't like to use her phone. And I said, well, do you have a smartphone? And she was like, yeah, because I told her, I said, you're going to need it for Periscope if you're going to go back and like, my scopes, and you're going to, go back and like anything.
Yeah.
You're really going to need to go and use like a Pixel Lab.
Yeah.
It's it's done by your smartphone.
Yeah.
She hesitated, and I said, now I understand if this is going to be a problem, girl. She learned how to use Canva, Pixel Lab. Well, I don't know if she uses Pixel Lab as much as she likes Canva. And then I talked to her about, what is it? Creative Commons. I said, if you're not going to get sued,
right?
We are not going to violate any, whatever those laws, I can't think of it, trademarks and all of that. I said, so if it's not through Creative Commons, I don't want you to use it. And she wasn't familiar with that. She was like, oh, okay, because I see images. I said, I know. I said, and people get in trouble because they go through Google Images and they see all
Yes.
the stuff and they want to duplicate it. I said,
Mm-hmm.
I did in the beginning. All it took was hearing, and it's the same chick. I know you follow her, but anyway, real dark skinned, pretty chocolate girl married to the white attorney, and she's loud. I know, big eyes, loud, kind of round. Oh, what is her name?
LaShonda?
No. I forgot she is married to.
Uh,
She went to Dubai, and then she went to Africa to visit her family. And you were asking her questions like,
Nicole.
yes, TV Nicole TV, whatever. Yes,
Yeah.
I heard her, and she was like, her and her husband were talking about trademark laws and all this stuff, and I was like, let's stick with Creative Commons. So I had that talk with her, and I told her, I said, this everything that I'm sharing with you is to help you, even as you're building your relationships with other potential clients. I said,
That's
now
right.
you'll have, I said, because this is going to help you expand as you, continue to be a VA if this is what you really want to do. And at first, she had a very lackadaisical attitude. And I think because she felt like she really had this, like, oh, I got this. But then
Yeah.
she said to me, she said, I guess I'm going to end up learning a whole lot from you. She said, I can tell. And I said, good, very good. I said, so now we are on the same page. I said, because I'm going to educate you. I said, that's what I do. I said, it
Mm-hmm.
would be wrong if you don't learn anything. I said, you're going to learn almost as much as I do about sustainability. And she laughed because she was like, she said, I didn't even know what that word meant. And I said, now you know what it means. Now you know how to find the right phrases. And you know what CSR means. She sure does. And she find those posts. I said, that's what's up.
Oh,
That's
see,
what
that's good.
she knows. She
That's
knows.
good.
It again, so that's why I don't want to necessarily lose her, because I got her a little acclimated to understand
Mm-hmm.
what this means. And, she'll share with me. She said, I just had no idea about how much we do to the environment. She said, I had no idea how it impacts, my life. And
Mm.
so, I just got frustrated. That's all. I didn't mean to spend all this time talking about it, but.
No, I mean, it's good. I mean, because you need to, I mean, so I know too to be able to help you, but that's honestly, I think that the way that you're doing it with her, but I would monitor it either because you're paying her a good penny.
And I really, really am, because I looked at the screenshots. She's still up under what is Upworks. So I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at the screenshots, and I said, the screenshots ain't telling me enough.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that she posts, or I don't know how they pick and I don't know how that part works. I don't know it well, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking I am going to have to make it more task oriented, because
Yeah.
she is, yeah, and we'll negotiate, because I talked to her at one point and I said, how do you feel about coming up from under Upworks? And she was all for it. She was like, oh yeah. And I said, yeah, because I learned it from you, that Upworks get a fee from me and they get a fee from
Yeah.
her. I was like, so she ain't really making a true
Mm-mm.
1250. But I did tell her, I said, we will be renegotiating everything. And she kind of
Okay.
paused, and she said, well, if that's what, she said, I don't mind. I don't mind. And I was thinking, yeah, because her last jobs, they have the history of who she worked for before, and her highest pay was $8 an hour.
Okay.
But I think she worked, more hours as well.
I was gonna say she probably worked more hours. Yeah.
hmm 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 So yeah, that's been and I know it's all growing pains and learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I may still end up looking. I may need another one. I'm not sure yet, and so that would mean I would have to renegotiate her hourly so that I
Yeah.
could afford another one. But
Mm-hmm.
really think about it, because I find myself getting a little, putting you down, but I'm talking a little frustrated, still trying to do that whole not audio, the video editing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I'm going to need somebody else to do that. I find myself, yesterday was such a frustrating day, and I said it always happens, Control C, after I scope or, do something
Mm-hmm.
different,
Mm-hmm.
I'm challenged the most,
Hmm.
because especially in the thing that I say I'm going to do. Like I was talking about how we're planning for the week and how we put God first all week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know today's Tuesday, but I've been waking up later.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing stuff that's like, okay, I did my planning on Sunday, but I did something a little different.
Okay.
Instead of saying what you're going to do for the week, I just started saying, E, what is it that you need to do? What is it that you want to have done before the year is out? Right.
Okay.
And kind of work backwards from that. But I didn't put dates beside them. I didn't put
Okay.
dates beside them. And I know that that's going to trip me up because so far I
Yeah.
have not been meeting my dates. I will put a date behind something and get off on that date.
Why do you think that is, though?
I've been asking myself the same thing. It's like procrastination is I don't know why I procrastinate so. I don't know. And I'm like, was it that you don't want to do it? And I'm like, well, it seems like I don't want to do any of it.
Hmm.
Which is, it's just weird. It doesn't make sense. But I'm like, you know what? It's been too long. It's been over 18 months, scrap the whole thing. But that has been my biggest frustration. I'm like, Lord, I just want to start seeing clients. I just want to start doing instead of, I feel like I'm doing a lot of busy work and not getting anything done.
You know, you have me looking at the ceiling, right?
I know. I'm waiting for my computer to.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all.
No, I just want to make sure that you knew. I was just like, how would she knows that? Because I don't want you to see the replay and be like, why she ain't tell me? I just wanted to make sure.
Not a problem. I'm getting ready to turn off the phone because I think I'm connecting now.
Okay.
The computer.
Okay. I said, let me just make sure.
Are you still? Can you still hear me?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I can hear you now, I think.
Okay. The last time it was screeching, so I don't want to do that. Let me. I think I have to turn the phone all the way off. Is it still screeching?
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Log off the other one, whichever
That's
one
what
that
I'm
you
trying
got.
to do. I thought I did.
Uh-uh. Are you still there?
Did you see me?
Oh,
I'm
now
here.
I couldn't do anything. Now I can, but you're still up there on the other one.
No, the phone is off.
You see you though on here?
Yeah, you don't see me?
I see you twice.
I see me frozen.
There it
Okay.
is.
Yep.
All right. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good now. Okay. So let's go
Cool.
back. So number one, so let's talk about this. I really want you to understand. So with the planning and stuff, you have to be consistent. With, that's the same thing that you might be also not having a lot of success in the business because you have to be consistent, right? You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in order to see that. Then you have to feel motivated. And that's what I was telling you about when we talked about last time. What is it that you want to do in your business that you have passion for? It's going to make you be motivated, who's going to make you really want to do it. And then when you said, and something you said, and I caught it on replay, is that when you said it's been 18 months or something like that, you said you haven't made any money, but it has been 18 months, but you haven't been consistent, honestly, truthfully. So it really hasn't been 18 months. And so I need you to understand that. So I don't want you to say that anymore because it has not been 18 months of consistency. If it's been 18 months of consistency, then I say, okay, well, something's wrong. Like, well, you've been going hard, consistent with live streams, consistent. That's different. It hasn't been 18 months. So that's scratch that, okay? Out of your
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
But one of the things you have to do is you have to plan and meet those deadlines. You have to force yourself to say, and it's just the same thing with me. Like right now, it's crazy the next 2 weeks. So I have planners all around me. Like right now, look, because I cannot get off task. If I do, it's just going to mess everything up. It's going to be a hot mess. And so I have to. And so they are in my bag. I keep it in my pocketbook. When I go somewhere, that planner's in that bag. You see what I'm saying?
But you mentioned several planners.
I do. I use this one for my family, which usually I don't have to use as often as, like, I'm using this one more right now than business. But and this one is for business.
Makes sense.
Right. And I do have this other one, but those are the main ones that I keep with me.
Okay.
All right. And now the business one I don't have to take all the time because usually I'll have it also on my phone. But that family one has to go. You know what I mean? So I carry my planners with me, and it reminds me. And even sometimes, like if I feel like I'm gonna get off track or something, even though I really don't need that business planner, I still carry it with me to mentally and visually see. Let me look in this plan and make sure I got this stuff together. What the heck I'm supposed to be doing?
Right. And I think that has been my other frustration. I have one planner. I don't put all. And I think it's just that whole, let's get the balance together, because I can look at one thing and if it doesn't hit my phone, right, then my biggest concern is missing an appointment. So far, I have not. But the other side to not is, nor have I had a whole lot. So it's like, well, you ain't missing anything because you're not getting a lot right now. But that's just my whole balancing act. I don't want to have too many. I know you use a lot of things. I use a lot of notebooks, notepads, and I have like 4 notepads going, and I have my one main planner, and I do see like, okay, you about to blow a gasket because you have a lot of stuff, the ideas, all of that I get pumped about, but then when it comes down to just sit down and make it happen. And I'm like, right now you off, for school, you don't have to go back until the 21st is when my fall session starts. And then I have, 15 weeks where I am going to be focusing on the manuscript.
Okay.
And then another 15 weeks starting next year. So 15 weeks will take me to the end of this year, and then it'll start up again for spring, and I'll be done.
Okay.
That's the goal. So it's like, okay, the pattern that I have now, I will not be able to keep doing if I'm going to finish my manuscripts on time. So it's like, okay, whatever it is that I keep allowing to happen to stop me, I have to make it, I have to, conquer that. And my whole work ethic and everything has just been off. Last night, even though I did listen to Miles Monroe, right before listening to him, I was so frustrated because I tried to print something and my printer stopped and it just wouldn't print. And it just threw everything that I was trying to do off, because I was like, well, I needed to get this piece printed out so I could, take my time and really read it and see it well. So I was like, that frustration.
It is frustration, but is it, so then you said that, but it's something missing. So in other words, like you should have passion. We both know this. I'm just saying it, but you should have passion about what you want to do. Does that make sense? Like there's like, you shouldn't say, you know what, I don't know, I don't feel like doing it. I don't have this. There's none of that. It's that you have passion. Every morning you want to get up. So for instance, last night I went to sleep at 1:30 and woke up at 5:30 a.m.
Ooh.
Today. Yes. You see what I'm saying? Because I knew I had stuff. Because I love what I do. I had stuff to get done. And I knew that we were meeting for 2 hours a day. And then I said I wanted to do some stuff later. So I'll take a nap probably after we get off. But I got so much done already this morning. I had 3 other calls since you already. Got emails out. Finished up going over this new thing that I'm trying to do for Sunday. And so I've done all that. You see what I'm saying? Because I like it. So you have to be at that point. Does that make sense? That the sleep is so. That's why I was saying on our last call, what is it that you really want to do that you're going to find passion, which it seems like you got excited about the South Africa, but now you still got to have a program to put in place for the South Africa. And what is that going to be that you're going to feel like doing? Does that make sense? Like that you're going to want to write down and get up. So
because I see me doing it.
I see you doing it too.
So when I
see you doing it.
Right. So when I asked, and I need to follow up with the young lady again, and I think she's in overwhelm with Dr. Pat's, Dr. Bailey's team. I really think she's in overwhelm because she also designs clothes, and I bought a bunch of their clothes. All their proceeds go to, various mission efforts that they do. Awesome. So she does that, and now she's over this this trip. I was supposed to take my niece to Jamaica this year. The same lady, she was over the Jamaica trip. She was like, I'm going to get this right out to you. And I followed up a couple of times, never got it. So my niece, who really needed it because she's off the chain, so she missed it. She got excited. She was like, I'm going to go to Jamaica with you. I was like, yeah, I'll go and we'll make this happen. So anyway, long story short, she's the same young lady that I sent my resume to and everything to. So I know I got to, follow up with her, but I see the training, the workshop, working with the women. I've done that. I love that. I have done a mentorship program. I have done a leadership program strictly for women. I know I can do, and I don't want to say in my sleep and make it seem like, but that I can do.
Okay.
This is what my challenge is. And I don't understand the disconnect. Writing it down, because I was like, well, just go to your old notes and try to, update or, make it more relevant. I don't know. Excuse me. Maybe that's an idea that I can use, but I was going to use Teachery as the platform to put this curriculum together through, because I thought they had a good format.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's just like sit down and do it. And I haven't sat down and done it. I can see the end result. It's just do the steps in between and make it happen. And I'm stuck. Yep, I'm stuck at the whole, brain dump.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to follow all the stuff that they, tell you to do. And I don't know. I'm like, get a job. That's what I need to do. I'm going to turn this light on real quick. I don't know. The sun went away.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm like, okay, I maybe need to just go teach somewhere at a university or something. I don't know.
But is that really what you want to do?
It's not, but I need money.
You have to stay consistent. We just said on this call, your problem is not being consistent, and then also and then narrowing down the time, like you said, sitting down and really planning and following the plan, not going left from the plan,
right?
Not going right from the plan. Like, do you watch a lot of TV or anything?
After a certain hour, it was on. Like after 6 o'clock, it's usually on. But yeah. I'm watching and not watching, it's on.
So maybe take that away. You're not watching that while you're planning, are you?
No.
All right. So at times when you're even not planning and you're really trying to stay on task, take the TV away. Take the TV away. Put the what am I trying to say with this thing? I'm looking at the phone trying to tell you, put it on do not disturb. I'm like, come on, thing, what is it? Do not disturb. So there's nobody from Periscope. There's no nothing.
Right.
And you're going to have to program yourself. And you're going to have to put affirmations around your area. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Look, I have them all written out on these cards.
Oh, I know.
Look,
and I need
where
to
put the cards. I know. I don't know where I put the daggone cards. See? I was like, you wrote all these out. You're like, you're going to say these.
And then in the morning, you need to do it. Write them on sticky notes. Today, I am going to do this. Stick it up there. Stick it up there, not the card. Stick it up wherever your computer is. Today, I'm going to do this. I am going to complete this goal. And don't try to complete 3 or 4 goals if you can't, because you already know you struggle. So try say, I'm going to complete 1 goal today.
Okay.
Just 1. And then tomorrow I'm going to complete 2. And then on the next day, I'm going to complete 3. Don't, because then you're going to get overwhelmed and trying to see all these things that you need to get done, and you're not going to do it.
Right.
And your brain's going to be cluttered.
You're right.
So you have to go, let's go back to what we talked about last time, is where are you with your business? What do you want to look like? Because is what Dr. Bailey, what you can do for her still what we talked about, or is that more on the environmental side, the way that you're going? Like, which way you going with that?
With that is the teaching, right?
Okay.
And the training, because that's always been a part of it. So part of being that consultant is that you can facilitate workshops, you do trainings, you do speaking engagements, you do, you know, all of those various elements, or you have your one-on-ones with your clients. So it's like that whole thing. So the South Africa trip could be a project. My goal, because it is a missionary oriented ministry, my goal would be to take advantage of an opportunity to teach or do a training, right? That would to me be ideal. I don't even know if they need that, but that is something that I would like to do. Live for Change could do that. You know, of course I want to go and take advantage of the fact that I can minister in various places in these refugee camps. Absolutely, I want to do that. But I also know that she has several workshops that she's going to do. It's a whole week, and they, you know, she's very, you know, she's organized. She is, not her team. She has everything in place of what she wants to do. So again, I would like an opportunity to work with women and provide some kind of training, and that would be a key element to what Live for Change is all about, right? Because you know, we do organizational development, and we, you know, it's not ministry per se, but it's still an opportunity to get that exposure, and that's how I saw it.
Okay. So now that you have, you're going to do the Live for Change with the environment, right?
And everything I just said, right?
Right.
Yep.
Now, what do they give you anything like how long that you're going to train for? Like, how long do you have up there? Is it 30 minutes? Is it an hour? Like, how do you plan? How do you plan for that?
Right. And I don't know. I need the agenda. So I don't have the agenda to know. I just know that, you know, they have workshops and, you know, something like that. So I was like, I'm making myself available to do one of the workshops. I don't know if it's an all-day workshop, half a day workshop, 1 hour. I don't know any of those details. But I wanted to, part of what I desired to do and to be able to market on some level is it can be a half day, you know, leadership training for women. And of course you would, you know, make it customized depending on where they are. If they're newbies and just getting started, of course, that's going to be a totally different type of training than for someone who's advanced. And for those who are more advanced, well, actually, it doesn't matter. Having sustainability principles are really key in any business, right? So it's not just environmental, it's social. You know, it's, so you're talking about the people, the planet, and profit. So it's a 3-pronged, but every aspect of that matters as your business is growing. How do you handle your employees? That's the social part. If you're global, how do you interact with other cultures so that you don't come across as being a jerk because you think everything's about the Western way when it's so not when you overseas or somewhere else. How do you train your people to be prepared for that? And so my background, you know, my concentration was global consulting, and everything that I wrote about was from the CSR vantage point, the corporate social responsibility, the global social responsibility piece. So that, and I did very well. And what we learned is how to, as consultants, how do we go into an organization and help that leader prepare their expats? You know, how do they get ready to go overseas? How do they get their families ready?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, just because they do extremely well as a leader in the organization, it's a different animal for them, and they have the culture shock. You know all of this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how do they get ready for that? That's where the consultant can be hired to come in and say, you know what, this is what we can help train your people so that when they go, they won't embarrass you
You.
and they won't embarrass themselves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm ready to do that. I don't know how to quite maybe articulate that on paper. I don't know. I'm like, well, what's the missing link? And that's not even the piece that I really promote, not in the social
Right.
media world. The social media world, my thinking is just get the brand out there, let people know you have leadership background and you can help them in that, and that you know about corporate social responsibility, and you know how to help them put those kind of principles, help them with their business model, help them with a lot of the basics, the building blocks that's going to be fundamental to the functioning of the organization, how to be more efficient and be more effective. Those principles help in that area, and it helps you build a competitive advantage, because many organizations are not embracing fully sustainability. They do a lot of good, feel good things. They will, help build a house with, habitat. They may even donate money to habitat, but they don't understand their brand connection with the social responsibility. You know, like Coca-Cola, even though you and I know Coca-Cola has a lot of sugar in it, it's killing
Right.
people all
Mm-hmm.
day, every day. So how do they feel like they're combating that? Because
Mm-hmm.
they keep track of their water footprint, and they will say, we use, as a major national corporation, we use less water, we use more wind energy, we use we do all of these things that protect the planet. We go into different countries in Africa and we teach women how to become entrepreneurs so that they can build purses and make jewelry and do all these various things, and they are contributing. We stand against genital mutilation. So that's what Coca-Cola does, and that's what Kodak does, and that's what even Starbucks says, well, this is how we help people when we go to different countries. So every major multinational corporation is showing how they are taking care of their environment, and they're taking care of their people. We pay our people well. Starbucks have their own university, Starbucks
Yeah.
University. So they do a lot of training, and most of their people stay. They have health care for college students who are there part-time. Nobody wants to leave Starbucks,
I was gonna say, ain't nobody
when they
going
get a job
nowhere.
there. Nowhere. Unfortunately, they don't have black people. That's a whole nother issue, but they
Yeah.
do cater to minorities. So and they believe in inclusion. So I mentioned all of those different aspects because that's what I see is missing with especially smaller mid-size, because they
Right.
don't understand that if they're going to be competitive, if they don't know how to partner with those major corporations, then they need to know how to stand out from them. And they can do and offer. All they got to do is start talking up more about what they do. And if you don't understand how to do it, then that's when I can come in and help you get that platform and help you build that up. The individual entrepreneur, I don't see as being my ideal client, because many of them are just like, they have that hustle and grind mindset, right? So
Yeah.
they're not really, there. Some might be. And some, especially if you do a lot of digital stuff, if you don't play up the fact that this is how I protect the environment, because most of my products are digital. Most of
Right.
my products, so I'm not doing anything that requires a use of a lot of paper. Um, just so many things, so many different ways that it can be played up. But is the passion there? The passion is there for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I have the intervention tools. I have the tools in place. So my frustration is, how do I get my client? And I know marketing has never been my strong suit, obviously. And you're saying, E, you have to be consistent. And so I think it boils down to, what is it that I really need to be consistent in that's going to be effective? Because I know if I'm not consistent enough with social media, I
Right.
know that, you know, I can't say it didn't work. That's what you're saying. You say, you can't say
Mhm.
nothing is working if you're not being consistent enough. So my question would be, so how long is consistent? And
Till you
the
see
other,
results, to be honest.
so okay, and so if I'm not seeing results, when do you know that it's not working?
Because you haven't, but have you been, you haven't been consistent. So consistent to me is like
What's
30 days of doing the same thing every single day, 30 days. That's consistent.
So I'm with you on that. And if I've done for social media posting every day, more than 30 days.
It's just posting though. Posting's not going to get you sales. Posting is just going to tell people about marketing your business.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to get you sales. You want to get sales. That's just getting people to know
True.
about your business.
And
But
so
you said that
ads,
sales was not your strong point. So how are you working on that with sales? What are you doing to better yourself with sales?
so running ads, isn't that
No,
still?
you with sales, not the ads. You yourself to personally, like personal development with sales.
So and that's just it. I guess I'm just not doing that.
So that's what I'm
Not
saying. So that's one thing. So one of the things would be maybe to read more, like buy like that. I love to buy this book. You know, it says such and such for dummies, like marketing for dummies, business for dummies. Like those are really good. But sales books like Grant Cardone, his sales books are really, really good. Like start reading those books. So if you already know that's not your strong point, now you need to work on that if you want to be an entrepreneur. Like you have to work on that sales funnel and read those things to help with the personal development piece. The other thing is social media with what you're trying to do now with the with organizations. Posting on social media gets people to know who you are and know about you, right? The leads are supposed to lead to them even just going to look about your page. It's not going to always get you sales. Now,
right.
but what you're trying to do is what you need to be consistent on is number one is reading to learn more about sales and how you market. Say that you're going to dedicate time for educational day. One of your days when we talked about that is day where you just educate yourself. And it sounds like that needs to be on sales. Now, the other thing with that is that if you want to do organization, be consistent about developing proposals, making cold calls to these companies, setting up meetings with these companies, being more consistent on LinkedIn, just connecting with people on LinkedIn, you connecting with people on LinkedIn, not your VA, to
Right.
make those relationships and be more consistent with that, because those are the type of people you want to attract. Does that make sense? So
Mm-hmm.
developing proposals and what we talked about before, like you have to have something to offer them. You know, do you have, what training do you have? Why are you down here? If you have,
That's what happened to me.
if you
Mm-hmm.
have, a sample of a training that sometimes they'll say that, do you have a sample of your training? Remember I said you have to have something to give them. So even though that's what you want and you're saying you want to make sales, well, what is it that you're giving them? Have you developed that piece? Because you have nothing to sell right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to make money, you got to have something to sell, which means that you have to buckle down and get something for them to sell. You have to buckle down and learn about you. You know that your issue, or not really issue, your lack of knowledge is more of in sales and marketing. So you have to have a personal development day. We all have weaknesses, and
Mm-hmm.
I love sales. But there were certain things in my business, like now I still read all the time because I don't know everything. So I have to
Sure.
read. And then also, if it was me and I was looking at businesses, then I'm just going to send out proposals. I'm going to be in people's inbox and like, listen, I saw your organization looks like it's a great fit. Can we get on a Skype call today? Now, once you get on the Skype call, you have to have something for them. They're going to be like, oh, well, because you're trying to close them, right?
Right.
So you haven't had that in 18 months. So that's why I said you can't say that you've been doing it for really 18 months, right? That's been unsuccessful because you haven't had that piece. You still need that piece of proposal. You still need that piece of now you're starting to ask. You need that piece of, and now you're in somebody's inbox and you're saying that you want to meet with them. And then you're following up with whatever it is. So like, for instance, the church, what's going on with that?
What do you mean? Oh, the guy that
Yeah.
I sent the proposal to. So
Mhm.
I only followed up one time with him, and he
See,
had not. He what one thing happened. Bottom line with him is when I sent the proposal to him,
okay.
he did not get to my proposal in that board meeting. So when I followed up with him, he was like, "Oh yeah, we didn't have time, so I sent your proposal to the board," which, you know, I was like, "Okay." I didn't follow up again. But of course, once you do it that way, it's totally different than when it's on an agenda and there's a discussion about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I kind of was like, okay, I still need to follow up with it. But yeah, he's been the only one that I've actually, well, I sent my proposal to another pastor, leadership development proposal. This was last December. Even though he and I, we still talk. Long story short, he was like, "Oh, my church is nowhere ready for a leadership proposal," even though he didn't mind accepting it. So I was like, "Okay, I need some better leads
Let me ask
because
you a question. So you said it to follow up. What you followed up with well, you're going to follow with the new ones. But what is it that you? So you're following up with them, and you have what's the lady? It was another lady that you were supposed to follow up with her.
Yep.
How did that go? What's going on with that?
So it's a couple of ladies. One I had already met with, and we were talking about coaching, leadership coaching, and the long and short, and she won't return a call. Bottom line, I'm already tired of chasing her.
Okay.
I'm not real good at that. I'll follow up, but just like if it's me, if I've cut somebody off, it doesn't matter how many times you come after me. I've already said no without saying no.
Okay.
So I think that's what she's done. And then there was another lady that went to the website. She long story short, I even reached out to her. I said 30 minutes. We're winding down, and I didn't get a response back. I do watch. She still likes everything. She's still following me social media wise. But I said, okay, how many times before you? And periodically I follow up with her, but I stopped. Even the gentleman that I met from Detroit, I started following him on social media. I know he's on Twitter.
Okay.
So I started following him on Twitter, and I liked his Facebook page. So I started kind of stalking that way, but I haven't heard any feedback from him. And I was like, okay. So they're like on the back burner. I haven't just said no altogether, but I know that they're not hot. They're not, they're not hot. I've reached out to a couple of people on, LinkedIn. What I've done is some of the places like there's a group from the Sustainability Consulting Group. So I've reached out and talked about potentially collaborating. The young lady accepted the connection, but she didn't give me any feedback on whether or not we could potentially collaborate. She's not a consultant, but her firm, and nor is her firm, but they do some of the things that I know I might be able to offer a service to help them.
And what did you say to her? What exactly did you say to her?
I said something like, once we accepted, I said, thank you so much for, the connection. Take a look at my, I don't remember the exact words, but long story short, I said something like, take a look at my bio. You'll see we have some similar things. I said, your organization offers some services that I believe that I could be, something like an assistant to. Would love an opportunity for us to consider collaboration.
Oh, okay.
Yep, something like that.
Okay, that was
good. Yeah, I thought it was, I thought it was pretty decent. And with the IG follow-ups, I say something like, thank you for the connection, or thank you for the like, depending on whatever it is. Thank you for the follow. I'm offering, I would love to know how I can possibly serve you.
Okay.
So on IG, I always say something like, I really want to take, an opportunity to serve you. I do leadership training and whatever else, because I'm looking at what they say that they do. And I try to find the word that ties into what they do and say that I may be able to offer some assistance in this area. So if they're a CEO of something, then I'll talk about leadership, a couple of the likes, different areas. So I try to find the right verbiage that may strike interest, and let them know, take advantage of the 30 minutes now, while you still can.
So now you had those. I like that. So you're asking. At least you're asking. But this is the thing, that once you get them off the 30 minutes, what are you giving them?
If I get the opportunity, the 30 minutes, my hope is that I can give them one strategy, and it's going to be based on the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So based on their needs. So if there is, and again, I don't know, but based on their need, and we're
Mm-hmm.
talking, and if they tell me, and this is what my issue is, and this is what my need is, so I'm believing that I'll be able to say, oh, I have an idea that may work for you. And so it's going to be pretty much a customized thing, right? It's not one size fit all. Everything's going to be contingent on that conversation. If the situation is such that ain't no way I'm going to be able to tell you anything in 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say, you know what? There's absolutely a solution for this, but it's going to take more than this 30-minute conversation. But we can't leave it here. And then I would say, this is why we need to go ahead and schedule. And then I should be able to, again, it's going to be based on that conversation, assess enough to say, this is why I know it wouldn't do you any justice for me to try to quickly come up with anything. But this is why we need to continue this conversation. Because then I'll have for you, blase Skippy, if it's a proposal that they'll need, that's going to be in depth enough for them to see, oh, okay, I see why she said we couldn't have this. We couldn't, because 30 minutes is not trying to bring resolution to anything. It's trying to identify at least one something. And I want to be able to give them a reason to either call me back, or not call me, but, schedule a full hour, or say, you know what, that worked. And I can give you an example. A young lady, and this was not based on my 30-minute advertisement, but we had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
She had an issue at work. The moment she started talking about her situation, I'm making notes, and I saw that it was just a communication gap. It was a clear communication gap, because she shared with me her employee, what he was saying, and the reason why he behaved a certain way. And I shared with her, actually, it was like 3 things that I shared, and one had to do with her policy. I said, what you have written, he sees it as, oh, I'm in the clear. I can behave this certain way because there's nothing written that says I shouldn't.
Right.
She kept saying, oh, he should have known better. I said, first of all, he's a millennial, and millennials know what they see. If it ain't written, it don't mean a hill of beans. They're not going to fill in the blanks. They won't be like, it didn't say that. It didn't say I couldn't lean to the left. It didn't say I couldn't do it, right?
That's true.
So I said, so you're going to revisit your policy. I said, because that's going to be the first argument. He's going to say, oh, I don't see it. I said, so you're going to let him know that not only is it unacceptable, but because of this behavior, I'm changing the policy. I said, so now it's set for everybody, because she has several millennials, and they were testing her, but this one kept testing her in various areas. I said, it's all communication. And long story short, she did everything that I said. I said, because you got to cover yourself with HR. She shared with me how, HR is so picky about certain things. So she did those 3 steps, and she got back to me, and she shared with me how it worked. It all worked out. And, of course, the Lord has given me, as you like to call them, downloads, but he's given me insight. This is exactly what was happening. But see, Wendy, this is what I've done all my life. So even outside of this, even in my leadership training, when they would linger back and they want to have a one-on-one later, like, oh, can I call you because this is what's going on at my job? And we're talking, I was doing leadership training at church, but then I always share with them, I said, what you're learning here, it carries over.
Right, that's right.
So they would just share these things with me, and I would get the calls. And even at work, when I was a CEO or executive director, that's what I did. I would get one-on-one calls, and I would laugh because I'm coaching people all the time. But I didn't mind if I figured out a way to help them. And even when I thought I couldn't, I knew how to refer them, so it's like, I'm going to do something and I will follow up, and you need to let me know, did this work? So I know that was a long roundabout way, but I believe that I will have something for them. I can't imagine not being able to communicate that. I don't know what it's going to be, because it's always going to be on a case-by-case basis. I need to understand what the gap is, or what is what do you need?
But what if I said to you, okay, well, that's great, but what are your prices usually run? Like, what does that look like? You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out how you're going to be ready for anything.
That's true. And so my question had been, is it going to be well, there's going to be a project cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because from the consultation, we realize that, let's say it's a change issue, that where they're going to have to do some serious transformational change, and that's going to take anywhere from 6 months to a year, because if you're talking about organizational change and you're talking about restructuring some things, sometimes restructuring means removing people, sometimes restructuring means adding people, sometimes so it depends on what all that, and it takes time for that. And there's some training, because now you're also talking about culture. There's a whole new mindset that has to happen if your organization needs to make this change to accomplish your goals. So that's a project. That's not going to be a few weeks in and I'm out. Even though a few weeks can be a project. So that's where I'm trying to decide, how do you charge for a project? My advisor is a consultant, and most of what she does is by project. How she charges her fees are by projects. And I've got enough consulting books that it would probably drive you nuts. But a lot of them, they have both the fee-based and then the project-based fees.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is still kind of contingent on. So in my proposal, because I'm not going to answer you today if you ask me, well, what's your cost for?
Right.
I'm going to ask you to let me get back, because I want that opportunity to write the proposal correctly. If it's only going to take 5 hours to do the project, then I can say whatever that entails. If it's a one-on-one, then, I had said this to you earlier, that it would more than likely be $200, which
okay.
I know you said that might be a little steep starting out.
Depends on the company, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
It depends on how large their company. Now, if they're like a small organization, nonprofit, 200. But if they have over 200-300 employees, no, you need to charge more.
Then it wouldn't be per hour if it's based on.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing a training and they have employees that they want me to train, that's a project base. That's a project.
Okay, you're gonna do it by okay. But do you see where my point is? Where you're gonna have to have something though. Like even though, because it's so right now, like if you reach out to people, you have your 30 minutes. You're gonna tell them that you're gonna get back to them. So you're gonna get back to them within 72 hours.
And I can. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like that, you want to have that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You want to say that I'll get back with you in 72 hours. So it's almost like you have this template prepared, kind of, that you only just check and you say, okay, let me get back with you within 72 hours of the proposal, because you never know who else might be talking to them about some trainings and things. And one of the things I would, to talk to them about, is, do they have a training budget? And are you talking to the right person?
Those are the things that would take place in the 30 minutes.
Okay, that would take place. Okay. So then now you have pretty much, you have your 30-minute call. You go from your 30 minutes, you're going to give them a proposal within 72 hours. Now you have something to offer, but everything can't be on the phone. So therefore now you have to be looking at companies that are in your area. Number one, that you can cold call, because that's what you want to do pretty much, is that you want companies. Also, a day when I say cold calling, remember I talked about that you're going to pick up the phone, you're going to cold call these companies. So now maybe not being as consistent on, like, the posting on Instagram is, everybody does that. People are going to post for market, but maybe your consistency is now that, I'm going to do 50 cold calls a day to these companies. I'm going to do 50 to 100, really 200 is really good. But, of cold calling a day.
Okay.
I'm so serious to these
I
companies.
know you are.
And then that's what I'm going to do. So then you continue to call and get in that routine of what you want with these companies. And somebody's going to say yes. But if you start on a Monday being consistent and say, okay, on Friday, I'm going to start calling again, that's not consistency.
Right.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right. Every day. It has to
And
be,
then I don't
yeah.
want you to be feeling defeated at, okay, it came Friday and I still didn't get anything. No, but then what did you do in the middle of the week? Like you have to be consistent. 50, right now, maybe 50 calls per day, 50 calls. So that means on Sunday, you need to already have your list. Try to have a list of people or have a database set up, you know what I mean? Or that you're saying, you know what? I don't, because, you can go downtown, you can get get a business license. Everybody, information is out there when you get a business license. So you can call people that way. Some of these new companies might need help with their training department because they don't have the funding. That's the type of businesses you want, but it's going to be, like you said, either on LinkedIn or you're going to have to do it offline and you're going to have to do some cold calling.
So yeah, more than likely it'll be a combination of the two. And that's cool. Now this was the other thing because I have a meeting next week with, I think I shared with you, I was reaching out to some women organizations,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to
Yeah.
offer my services for free.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So, one of them did respond back and they seemed to be very interested. And I know her. I know her personally from working with her in the past. So she may be very curious to be like, well, what in the world are you talking about? So I'll be meeting with her next week just to
Okay.
bend her ear. And they're a nonprofit. So I know they're under the university.
Okay.
I do know that. I do know that the same lady that's over the Women's Center is also over the Small Business Center.
Okay.
And so my goal would be to hit her regarding both, because if I can offer some trainings through the Small Business Center, then I know the funding source is different, right? Because
Right.
small business, should be federal, because I think they're federally funded
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at both state and federal. So that's my hope. That's my hope. I have an accountability. My accountability partner, Lord Jesus, I know I need another one because she hasn't. It's been a week, and we talked that one time when she said, "Yeah," and I told her I would offer the same to her.
Okay.
And I don't think we're a good fit because we ain't following up on each other.
You ain't done nothing.
Neither one of us. We'll go eat in a minute, but I'm like, we got to take it another step. But
Yeah.
she works at the small on a part-time basis. She works at the Small Business Center where this lady is her boss.
Oh,
But
okay.
she just doesn't know that I've already trying to volunteer and get some exposure, because
Mm-hmm.
that would be the negotiation part. It's like, can I, either my goal would be to video tape me
Mm-hmm.
teaching so that I could package it or some kind of something like that. And I don't think that she would have a problem with it unless the participants had a problem with it. But
So one more question because I'm gonna forget. With the Black CEO, what's going on with that?
I'm still going to the speakers camp.
Okay, no, because I remember one time you weren't sure they had responded to you and stuff. So I
Yeah,
didn't.
girl. Yeah. Bottom line is, I'm still going. The guy who's over it, Shay Brown, and he's interesting, but he'll call back. But even with him, and I try very hard not to make anything a black thing. I'm not quick to say, black people do things a certain
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah.
But I promise you, he's so laid back. He told me the last time he and I talked, he shared with me that he was going to take care of something right away. Girl, I got you. I can't wait to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't get me till 2 days later. Because he told me he was going to get me that night, I waited that one night before booking my hotel. And because I knew the address, long story short, where I booked the hotel, I know is further away had he gone, you know, and gave me the information I needed when I needed it. But I was trying to get the flight, trying to get the hotel because the flight was really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it was cheap that day. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was trying to lock everything in at once and get it over with versus waiting. Well, 2 days he, you know, sent me the hotel, which is closer to than the one that I ended up booking. And it
Mm-hmm.
the rate of the hotel where I booked was really, really cheap, but it's far away.
Okay.
And it wouldn't have been had he went on and told me what I needed because the flight went up over $200 if
Ooh.
I had waited when he actually got me the information I needed.
Oh
The
wow.
flight rates on certain days, you know, they shoot up. And sure enough,
Mm-hmm.
just that 2 day difference, that
Yep.
it was like $200 higher because I went to check just to see. And I was like, oh my goodness, had I waited. So, but I'm going and I was like, Lord, I know you're gonna, you know, work it out so that I can do that and go to, you know, South Africa in October.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, in the meantime, I want to have more visibility because even with my leadership training, all those years that I've done the leadership training, most of them in the church, you know what, we didn't take pictures, we didn't do, you know, a whole lot. I did do. Um, I did a futuring. Are you familiar with futuring?
Mm-hmm.
Futures, talking about the future and how do you prepare as a business for the future. So it's a futuring. It's the name of the course. So
Mm-hmm.
I did a futuring workshop for my mentor because she has her own entrepreneurial. Um, and I'm kind of talking. This is all part of the brainstorming. So
Yeah, yeah. No, that's why I'm. You're right. Go ahead.
I do have some photos of her, of me. Well, this is the thing. I'm not in the pictures. I took pictures of the class where I did this workshop, this futuring workshop, but I was laughing at myself because I didn't take any. Of course, you know, I'm not taking selfies or pictures of myself with
Mm-hmm.
the class, even though moving forward, I know how to do that now. It's like, doggone it, get in the picture and you know, do the selfie. I don't
Right.
like doing all that. She took pictures, but then she with me doing stuff, but she lost. She, you know, she's like, I don't even know how to. I was like, you lost them. She's like, I can't find them. I can't.
Oh
I was like,
Lord.
okay, okay. So then I went back and I found some old pictures because I was a speaker for an event of hers more than once. So I found some old photos on her Facebook page. I know you know this. You can pick any picture you want and
Yeah.
save a
Mm-hmm.
picture. I'm like, it gave me the creeps, right? Because I started thinking, you know, somebody can have a picture of you and you not know that they have it.
Oh yeah. They. Mm-hmm. They
So
do.
that was tripping me out when I figured out that I could do that. But I did. I downloaded these photos. Some of them are really old, but I was trying to find the evidence, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Michael Hyatt in his book,
Yeah.
for, you know, platform, that's one of the things he was saying. You need to have at least photos, and I'm hearing you say, and then I need to have like some snippets or something of
Yeah.
me doing
Yep.
the training. So now let me tell you about Ghana, because I'm saying all this, and this is all coming out, and it's all out of order.
It's okay.
But my friend in Ghana, I kept praying. I said, God, I don't know how I'm going to work with him because periodically he'll reach out to me and he's like, use me. Just use me.
I love it.
I was like, oh, bless him, Lord. Um, I even made a donation to his organization. It's all Asian girls. Never mind. That's a whole other story. It's all these Asian girls and him, and he's blacker. You know, he's blacker than the background of this Zoom. He is black, and it's like in the sea of these Asian girls, and I'm like, what you doing with these women? Looking very suspicious, and he's like, I'm minister of peace, and I was like, okay. Anyway, he sent me. I asked him for his CV
Mm-hmm.
or his resume.
Mm-hmm.
He understood CV, but what he sent me was a bunch of certificates, like all of them random. Like one mechanic, one he is the CEO of this nonprofit where these Asian women. Now he's in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
but now I'm understanding how, yeah, Asians do infiltrate certain areas of the countries,
Yeah.
various countries in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And they somehow selected him because he's really heavy in the ministry anyhow. That's how he and I met.
Okay.
But I shared with him, this is my goal. My goal is to offer a virtual class
Mm-hmm.
to other nonprofit leaders as yourself, since
Mm-hmm.
he's over this organization. Because I started asking him, how do you make money? And they don't meet on a regular basis, and I don't know what that means to be a CEO of peace. I don't know what that means, and he couldn't verbally make it click for me. And I'm like, what do y'all do?
Right.
Why you? Why they select you? So,
Yeah.
so it doesn't, and none of it makes sense. But I told him, I said, well, how do you raise money? And so that was one of his struggles. So I started thinking, okay, well, maybe I can help with fundraising
Mm-hmm.
ideas. So
Okay.
I said to him, because I know he's struggling. He has no regular money coming in. You talk about somebody who hustles. Even when I met him over 15 years ago, he was always hustling. He was driving us all when we wanted to go to the market or go someplace. His name is George. We called George, and he would, have some raggedy bus or some kind of something, and
Mm-hmm.
he would take us. And he would watch over us. If he thought, oh, we might get scammed, he was right there. And he would just stand and, guys or whoever would back off of us. So he was good like that, like a bodyguard.
Okay.
Well, um, I kept praying, how can I use him? Because I was thinking maybe he could be like a VA. But I know he won't articulate well anything that I do. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want him to mess that up. But I told him, I said, if you find 5 people who are in leadership positions like yourself, and I also told him, make sure you bring your wife, because you know you talk about culture thing.
Yeah.
Them Ghana women, they just don't play when it comes to their men. It's like, I
Mm-mm.
don't want him. And I always make sure I ask about, even, well, I don't know if she's around when he calls, because everything he does, he doesn't pay attention to the time frame.
Okay.
So I'll wake up and he's been sending me all these messages, all night long. Stuff
Okay.
pop up in his mind. So I always, acknowledge him, but I acknowledge her. I'm like, I know you're married now. What's going on? And he always says, God is good. He never answers that question. So I told him, I said, I want you to make sure that if I do a training, that she's there too. So he
Mm-hmm.
said he'll make sure to do that. I said, and you tell if anybody else, if it's another female that comes to the training, that they need to bring their husbands and yada yada. So in his mind, he's like, how are you going to do this through the internet? So I told him, I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's like an online course. I said, but it's virtual. I said, and we're all going to go into a room together. I said, they're going to call from their phone. I said, and you're going to call from your phone. So I was explaining all this. And so I know he's still having a hard time. And I said, at some point, I want to have a Zoom just with him so he can get it, so
So
that
he
he
can
can
see it.
communicate it. Right. So he
Mm-hmm.
can see it for himself. And then he can answer it for them.
That
That
makes sense.
not everybody don't have to come together in one place and make the call, but they can do it from wherever they live and make that call. So I know that was his big issue. But that's something that I want to do. Have I been working on anything? No, no. But I do want to offer and I couldn't figure out what it would be exactly, because I told him, I said, I need you to ask them one question. Just ask them one question. What do you need in your business?
Mm-hmm.
Just ask one question, because I already know he'll talk too much and he'll end up preaching. And I'm like, I want you to turn him off by talking about what God's going to do for them.
Right.
Because he already, calls me the angel from God and all this stuff. And I said, that's
Mm-hmm.
cool, except don't make it confusing.
Yeah.
Because if they expect me to preach, I'm not going to be preaching. I really want to train and teach and help
Mm-hmm.
them in their business. So he's supposed to get back with me with that. And that is going to guide me on how to create this 1-day webinar. That's all I want is an opportunity to use part of that for the cultural people. Well, yeah, like, so the vision is to have the webinar and to
Mm-hmm.
be able to use that digital webinar, I guess, yeah, to help with some of the other people that I kind of reached out to, saying that I would like to provide the same type of thing. Am I making sense?
So yeah. So, but let me ask you a question. So with him, so it sounds like him, the church, organizations are pretty much like the same. You know what I mean? Like they're the same thing. So it
Mm-hmm.
does make sense. But what I would say is that you need to start creating proposals, like almost like you have. The problem I'm having is that I'm trying to figure out how you can. I know you said you had to have time to talk to people and things like that, but there needs to be something because for you, so you can say, okay, maybe I didn't feel like maybe today I'm taking the day off. But if somebody calls me tomorrow, I have a template, a proposal I can fill out. Like have some type of template that you can actually have that all you have to do is throw information into. Like I need you.
I have that.
Oh, you have it.
Uh-huh. I've got
But did
all of
you
that. In class, we had to have all that. That's why I was able to put together
with that
that
guy
proposal.
with the church?
Yeah, and show
Okay, so
you.
now
Yeah,
after you put it together, though, what you have to follow up.
and so I did, even with him, only to find out that he didn't even he didn't present it that that next day like he was supposed to. He was supposed to present the whole proposal to the board. He turned around because it didn't make the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
He turned around and emailed it to the board. But yeah, I can put together a proposal in no time. So I have all kind of and various ones because you sent us when we took that
Yeah.
cultural,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? You sent us one, and then in one of our my classes we had to purchase this book. It had the CD and it has every kind of agreement, proposal, you name it, all of that. And so I've kind of coined my
Yeah.
own, something that I could work with. So that part, writing a proposal, just again, it depends. If it's a training proposal, maybe a little longer than if I'm talking about a consulting. But bottom line is that's not the issue. I can put together a proposal. I don't know how to do that phone piece that you were talking about. Make sure you can do everything mobile. Um, I'm debating on what my next phone is going to be because I need enough memory so that I can easily do a lot of the things that you're saying. We should be able to access documents on our phone, and like you
Mm-hmm.
were on the plane with the guy. I'll never forget. You told us that one, and you were ready because you were like, you can sign here
Right, and
and
be ready to go.
and hold them accountable. So that's what I want to be able to do, that kind of part. But electronically, I've got proposals, and I know how to tweak them to make them personalized. To
Yeah.
make sure that it's meeting their needs. So that's not the issue. Yep. So I can be, yeah, I have templates for that. I do have
So,
templates for that.
so it seems like to me. So now we have it that you're going to do the organizations. That's what you'd like. That's what you want to focus on. So number one, I would say, okay, now you have your templates. You need to come out with, like I said, you need to schedule a time when you're going to start doing cold calling, who you're going to cold call. Like today when you get out this call, what would you do after we get out this call? Truthful.
Go shopping, go grocery shopping. Well, you said truthful. If you
And
didn't
I'm
say that,
glad.
I would have
I'm just
I would have
laughing.
thought of something else.
I wish you could have seen your face is what I'm laughing at.
I
you know
know I'm
how
gonna see it.
you know how a kid takes something and they're like,
Right. I was like, why she say truthful? You said truthful. I'm like, well, I gotta tell her the truth. That's exactly what I was gonna do. I was gonna put on my Miss Susie and go grocery shopping.
okay, so do you have days that you go grocery shopping and do things? Or do you just randomly go?
I go once a week. It's a random day. I don't have a scheduled time to go grocery shopping. I
You
even joined Thrive, which I don't know, that's another issue. But because I'm all about organic and all that kind of stuff, right? So
mm-hmm.
I joined Thrive Market because I said, if you have your food delivered to you,
Mm-hmm.
then you spend less time in the grocery store. And then the grocery store where I shop at, they have an app where you can do one of two things. You can place the order on phone, pay for it, and go drive and pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can actually deliver it to you, I think there's a fee, so I don't like to pay
Mm-hmm.
extra fees.
Right.
Or at the least, you can at least have everything already in the app, so that when you go to the grocery store, all you're doing is looking on your grocery list, and you're out. So today I had put everything in that I was going to order
Okay.
or buy. So I was just going to go to the grocery store. And it's so funny because I told this to this one of the pastors that I told you I submitted 2 proposals. And the one guy, I told him about the app. And he was like, "You're such a lifesaver, E. I can't believe it." Because he goes to the grocery store every other day. And I was like, "You get on my nerves." I said, "Because that to me is just, it's utterly ridiculous." But I noticed that that's something that single men seem to do, or whatever. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
he does every other day. He buys whatever he's thinking of to eat. And anyway, that's just a whole dumb thing. Told him about the app, and he was like, "Oh, I can't believe it." Just pumped. So anyhow, I was trying to figure out a way to cut down on my time, because I will go to the grocery store and get tempted, and that's what I was telling him. I said I'll
Mm-hmm.
have my list, and I figure out a way to have an extra $10 or whatever, and then I end up buying a few other things that I don't need.
And see, and so what I was going to say to that is that you even have to have your grocery days, like because you're a lot of like, seriously, I'm serious, because I was like, okay, let me go to the store. Then I get to the store, then that's 2-3 hours and pass, and I need to be doing something else. You know what I mean? Or I'm saying, oh well, let me go on and run to Walmart real quick too while I'm out. Or let me go on and run to such and such while I'm out. Then the whole day is messed up. So I even have my grocery days. So thank goodness my kids can drive now, because it's something that I'm like, oh, you're on your own. You're on your own, because I'm not. Today's not the day. Today's not the day that I go to the store. So if you
Uh,
want something, you're gonna have to go to the store, because you can't mess with my planning time. Like I
right.
really stick to that grocery store day and time. Like that's how tight you're going to have to be to get to where you want to. So
Amen. And
even
I
like
do.
now, so it's 2:30. Well, it's different time zone, but let's say
No,
like,
we're same time.
oh,
We're
okay,
same
so
time.
2:30, and you go to the store. Maybe it's about 5. Then, are you going to do any work tonight? I'm just saying. I'm just giving you. Are you going to do anything on
Right,
your
because it
list?
wouldn't take me that long, because it drives me nuts. So I hate grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
hate I hate shopping. Most of my, just so that you know, all my clothes online, unless there's one store that I'll go to that's not in a mall, because I hate malls. So my sisters hate me, because they're like, we can't even go to the mall and hang, because I'm like, I'll sit in the car before I go into a mall.
Mhm.
Only because it is a major distraction for me.
Mhm.
And I don't, I just don't, I'm like, too many options. I'm truly a person that don't give me a lot of options, because I get nothing done.
Okay.
So I want to go to every store in the mall, just about. I love kids stuff. I love to play with toys, all of it. I'm all in there. And they're like, oh. So I cut myself off from malls. I don't like window shopping, because either I want it and I'm gonna get it, or I can't and I don't. So I order most of my clothes online, 90%. Now I'm learning more. If I don't have to pay a lot of fees, most of my groceries online,
Mhm.
just because that cuts me from being a district. I'm an HSN queen, and now that I know QVC is going to own HSN, I will be a QVC queen.
Okay. Okay.
So right, I mean, ever since it started, that's well over 25 years ago, I've been that faithful. So I mentioned that only because I know if I can eliminate wasting the time. So the real question that you did not ask me is, so what is it that you do to waste time? I am a gamer.
I was trying to figure out what I was just trying to guess his
I don't
attention.
want to,
What
and
is
see,
it?
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna, but that's my most embarrassing thing. I'm a gamer. So you
What's a
already
gamer?
learned. I'm gonna tell you. So it don't take much for me to get frustrated. You've
Yes.
already figured that out, right?
Yeah.
So what do I do?
Mhm.
I just got rid of Candy Crush.
You're a gamer. Okay.
Video, yeah, phone gamer. So
Okay.
I literally, and I'm so high up, but I just got rid of my Candy Crush. But that's just one of the few that are left.
You are a gamer, because I used to get things from you.
Who are you talking about?
Now on
I don't
Facebook.
know, because I have removed myself off of social media just so
No,
that
it's been a
people.
while back. No, I'm just saying a while back. Because when people
Were
are,
you one too?
Yeah, I used to do. Now I actually like Candy Crush, and I do like
Just stopped, especially when it went on TV. I said, yeah, too much. So
and words with friends. I used to do
yeah, I
that.
stopped that.
So this is what I'll say. So what I was trying to say with all that, which I'm glad you brought it up, is that all that energy is your business.
I know.
Every bit of that is your business, and you have to, just like you said, delete it if you want it bad enough. It's got. I don't have games on my phone anymore.
Really?
Not one.
None?
None. I don't eat. Let me tell you what my phone. My phone has Audible books, which I hate Audible books, but I do it if I just to listen to it. But I'd rather read it. But all I
I'd
have
rather read it
Audible
too.
books. I have nothing
But when
but
I
business. I
eh,
have no games. You have to delete that in order to move forward. Or because think how long you honestly be honest. How long do you spend gaming?
I don't want to answer that one.
Why E? Why not with me? What do you mean you don't want to answer with me? They don't even make common sense. What you talking about?
Because any number you come up with is twice that long.
Okay, but admit that
I,
and talk.
I, I just did. What?
No, you
What you?
didn't, because you ain't told me how long. Don't even try it. I need to know because we about to reverse this. I knew we'd get to the
I'm
bottom.
getting ready. Look, I'm turning my phone back on so I can go ahead and delete them now. But there's at least one I want to hold on to. That's the one that I play every day.
But you ain't. But no, I'm sorry. Is it delivering money into your banking account?
It's not. That's why
Okay.
I'm getting ready to get rid of them. There's quite a few. So Blitz,
I don't even know what that is.
Candy
I
Crush,
do.
Soda Crush.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to get rid of that one. Let me find mine. And so you know what? Between you and your other, I know you probably have more than one coach, but what's her name? Um,
Mia.
she in everybody's face, huh?
Mia.
I don't know Mia, but the I hate describing people like this.
Now
Bald.
that's the only coach I have on
Oh, I thought what's
that
her name was your
anybody
coach?
knows. Who?
The bald one.
What are you
The
talking about?
bald lady. The heavyset bald lady. I know you
Danielle?
know him.
She's not my coach.
Danielle.
She's not my coach.
She's not. She never been.
That's a
I
long
don't know
story.
why.
I don't know why you. We're not gonna go there today.
I love you. I still love you. Okay, so I'm gonna move on because you know you already got my antennas. Because you know what, I'm gonna move on. That's
I
what I'm
only
gonna
had
do.
one person on that Periscope that I've had spent money with, and that's Mia. Other
Okay,
than
I
that,
don't know her though, but
Mia
okay.
Redrick. No, that you haven't seen me on any of her scopes probably in 7-8 months or anything with
Who?
her.
Mia?
No, with Danielle. The
Oh,
last
Danielle.
thing you saw me with Danielle was when that international thing
Yep.
last year sometime, and that was
Yep.
that was my exit. Since then, and that's because I committed. You know, I'm gonna keep
Right.
my word 110%.
Yes.
But you haven't seen me with anything else.
No, I have not. I guess maybe if that'll be another conversation. And honestly, I purchased so my very first any type of I call it Periscope purchase was her email book, and so
The
that's
ebook.
where you know how to do the ebook,
Yep.
and that's I said email book, okay,
No,
ebook,
you're fine.
and that's where I birthed my one, and I have written down every step, and I said I can teach this myself now that I understand because it's real simple and how to make how to monetize everything, all of that. I didn't pay for that one, but I ended up getting that. So long story short, I'm familiar with her. I don't follow her as much as I used to, and I'll leave it at that. But I don't follow people who are just very loud and in your face. That's an
Mm-hmm.
easy thing.
Yeah.
But she said some of the same things that you're saying. This is why I thought she was your coach, because you guys say like the same kinds of, it's like, this ain't making you money. You shouldn't be doing this. And I find the low hanging fruit. So when I get frustrated and I'm trying not to just break all the way down in tears, and it's like, you're a hypocrite. You don't practice what you preach. I'm going through all that. My comfort used to be the snack food. I've replaced that. I exercise more and I play my games. And now I'm getting ready to get rid of them as soon as I can remember how to find my Play Store.
Because so this is the thing. So she is right with that, because this is why I feel like and this is what I do honestly, if I feel like, because sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm just tired, and I'll just start scrolling through Instagram, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not making me any money. I'm sitting here watching other folks make this money. Why am I sitting here scrolling? Like I really have to mentally do that. Like keep it in the back of my mind. Like, okay, this is not making me
Okay.
money. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I sitting here
Yep.
scrolling through this? Not making me. Why am I on here listening to somebody on Periscope? They're talking about whatever they done in
Yes.
sales, and I'm sitting up here looking, and I ain't got nothing on my plate. This makes no sense. Put this phone down. Like I really have to do that to myself. So I
Yeah.
put you on it, and then just like with the games, I love Words with Friends. And so I was just like, delete. They're gone. I have not added them things back. You can't pay me to add a game back right now. If I get bored, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to be listening to an Audible on here, which I don't really like those, because I'd rather read a book. Or I'm on YouTube listening to Grant Cardone or somebody like that. You know what I mean? That's
I
where I
do.
have to train my brain to go. If it's not making me money, it's wasting time. If it's a TV show, I think, oh, that's a really good show, but they got their money, and I'm sitting here,
Yep. That's
well,
what she said too.
let me start watching them. This makes no sense. I'm sitting here watching these folks, and they sit up here and made all this money. So who cares about TV? Like, you see what I'm saying? So I need you to do that. So I'm glad I see you. I need you to delete.
I am, girl.
And
I
you
am.
want
I
to
said,
see
Lord
how much
knows.
time.
Because and I know I would tell somebody the same exact thing. And I would tell them to do it right in front of me, even though that doesn't mean that they're doing it. But
I know you. I can tell you doing it. I believe it because you
hmm
want it. I know you want it. You know what I mean?
I really do. And it's like, if I don't confess, that's why I was like, Lord, I don't even want to talk about it. But I was like, she didn't ask me. So what do you do to waste your time?
I'm just like, it's got to be something. Like, what is it?
That's it. And and it is scary. I refuse to put a clock on it because I said I was going to put a clock on myself. And I said, no, I don't need, I already know it's too much. Anytime is too much. But if I find myself, because each, game, if you go through all 5 of them, whatever, that's like almost an hour right there. It's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I said, and so if I'm doing that more than once a day, more than 2 times a day, more than 4 times a day,
Mm-hmm.
then it's eating up my day.
It is.
And so I know, and so you can't get, and I said, if my peak hours is early in the morning, and I don't know why this week I hadn't been waking up as early, and I'm not doing my peak hour work, then I don't have a peak night.
Right.
Nights used to be school, and all that's getting ready to shift. So I was like, okay, if you're shifting, you can't use that as the excuse. Before it was like you got to study for your post and da. The studying piece is done. Now it's, of course, for me, I'm going to write the manuscript for my book. That's what I'm going to do.
But are you going to do it?
Well, I'm going to have to, because now it's my class, right? This is my final year. So that's what you're supposed to do. Whatever your project is,
Right.
start that business, write a manuscript, or do a course, a training course.
Right.
Those are our 3 options. You pick whatever your project is. If I was working on my PhD, I would have to do my dissertation. So it's one of those, but since it's just the doctorate, you have to do a project. So that's the difference between the doctorate and the PhD program.
Right.
So I know I can't find another game. I don't have a choice if I'm going to graduate, and then I have to present it, right? So like if I was going to do the training, I would have to do the work, so it's one thing to create it, but you actually have to either get hired by somebody for you to do your training. You have to carry it all the way out. And then the advisory team and the chair, they're going to observe it and grade you on it. Oh, it's a pass or fail. I was like, you do all this work, it's a pass or fail. And there have been many people who fail. They encourage you. They say, oh, a lot of people pass. And I said, well, that means not many people failed. And they said, and many have failed. I was like, oh, snap, crackle, pop.
I'm glad that you admitted. I appreciate you admitting to me But I also now I want you to really see how much time that I want you to plan. You're gonna see how much stuff you get done. It's the littlest things that you just never think about, like that gaming. Like I didn't either, and that was taking up all that time. Even TV. Like I was like, I don't have time to watch TV. The only show I've been watching, the only show I watch, and I even still ain't watched that, is Power. That's the only thing that excites me right now. I like Power.
Who?
It's Power. That's only because my husband watches. So that's like our thing that we
I
watch.
never heard of it.
Yeah,
I watch Queen Sugar.
It comes on Stars. Now, see, Queen Sugar. See, like those shows. That would be my show. I don't have time. I have no. I can't even catch up. Even I want to try to catch up. I don't have time to catch up. I cannot sit there and catch up because in my mind I'm thinking, I got this work to do. I got stuff I got to do. And if I watch that TV, so I pick. So I like that you watch Queen Sugar. Right. It's okay to watch a show. So that's your show. But don't have all these multiple shows, and on top
and
of
I really don't. Well, I'm lying. Okay, never mind.
So, okay.
Because, yep, I know.
Okay.
I know. I had to think about it. I was like, yeah, I'm not very productive. And this is because I don't work the international piece in the evening. I'm not very work productive. And so now my thought was, this is when you can start focusing on the all of this other stuff that I was supposed to be working, like finish the course. That was supposed to have been done yesterday. When I couldn't print, that's when I just gave up. I was like, you can't even finish writing this course. I believe in my heart, and that's still going to be my goal for today, to finish it, because I've gone through these modules that Teachery take you through. I've gone through various parts, and now I just need to make it happen.
And you want this, and then I'm like that too. So you're like me. Morning is my time, honey. Come 5 o'clock, it's a wrap.
So how early then in the morning? Are you talking about 5 in the evening? Is a wrap? No.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting to I can still do stuff, but if it requires a whole lot of brain function, right. But if I know therefore, if I know I have a class like on Thursday morning, I might start a little bit later because I need to be able, and I have to take a nap before my trainings.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense.
I take a nap to make sure I'm refreshed and stuff, because if not, So I take a nap, even if it's just 30 minutes, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's an hour, but I always take a nap before every single one of my trainings. But you have to figure out what type of system. But your problem, number one, we have agreed, is TVs, the gaming, that stuff has to go, and you'll see how much time you have left. And then turn off the notifications.
That's all.
Oh, yeah. Let me see, y'all. Do y'all have it on that phone? You know I gotta say it.
Oh no. Well, what? What is it?
Hold on. Let me see. It's called Para. I used to use it. Para. Did you get my list on the mobile download thing?
A mobile download thing.
Did you get the free download when I said I did my contracts on the go, my whole infograph?
I didn't get no. I saw it, but I didn't click on it to get it.
Oh, get it, because it has all the apps and stuff that I use. But that might help you too. Hold on. Let me get this thing before I forget. But it just made me think of that. Para.
Okay. Blitz.
It's Paradamo. It's really good. So what it does is I like it because it helped me really honestly. Like it would be a timer, right? And it's on your phone, and it says, here, do this task for 30 minutes, step away, take a break for 15. Do this task for 20, step away.
Yep,
that's what you need.
Now that's so deep, because I agree. I definitely need it. It's called PERIDOMO.
You know I'm going to find it. Hold on. Task. Maybe it's management, task management. It's Paradamo, I think it is.
I should be able to have one game though, right?
Not now, because if you can't control it, then that one thing it's still a game.
That's it, because that's the only one that I play. That's the one not the only one. Never mind. It's
Okay.
gone. All of them are gone. Whatever. And I know everything you said. This is. I'm like, I need to practice what I preach because that's the first thing. That's the first thing that I say. My sisters, they on, one of them is trying to do her level marketing, and I don't have this, and I can't do this. And when I'm talking to her, I hear you coming out of me. It's like, first of all, you waste a lot of time because she catches the bus. I don't have a car. She'll be 50 this year, and she don't drive. I'm like, I told her, I said, that's a curse from my mother's side of the family because my grandmother didn't drive. She
Okay.
always had somebody drive her around. And I told her, I said, it's a fear, and it is. She's so doggone afraid. But anyhow, I told her, I said, since this is their lifestyle choice, I said, you have a lot of time to do whatever you need to do, from preparing while you're on the bus, your bus route. You can make all these preparations. I tell her, and I'm like, I laugh because I'm like, I hear my coach sometimes come out of me telling her the same stuff that I know.
It's paradomo. I just can't remember exactly how. I know I'm going to jack it up with spelling.
Let me see if Paradomo cigars popped up. Like, okay, I guess that ain't it. Let me see.
Funny.
Do you have Siri? So, and I know that I don't, but mine is called Google Assistant. So I said, "Are you Siri?" And she said, "You are trying to reach the wrong assistant. I am your Google Assistant." I was cracking up, had an attitude. I was like, I ain't never heard that much expression coming from this assistant. But sure enough, I said, "Are you Siri?" And she was like, "You're trying to reach the wrong assistant. I am your Google assistant."
Like, don't get me
don't get it twisted, right? Don't get
I
confused.
love it. I would have fell out.
Somebody else must have been. Other people must have been calling you Siri. You're like, I ain't her. My name is not Susan. What was Whitney Houston's song? My name is not Susie or something. Harry.
I'll have to find it. I can't even find the thing. I cannot believe I cannot find this app.
But the purpose of that app is, I know where I read it. In the book on how to write. It's a writing book. And then they tell you, write not a paragraph, write a like a chapter a day, or set a goal, write 2 pages a day. Don't write less than 2,000 words a day. And they have this timer. I remember reading it. It's called Various Things. So I'm gonna have to make myself a note to find that book. I know it's in that book. And it says the same thing that you're talking about. How come that book came?
Oh, wait, I might find. I think this is it. P is Pomodoro. I had it all wrong. P-O-M. I knew it was all wrong. P-O-M.
Okay.
O-D-O-R-O.
Pomodoro. It's an app. Yeah, if I get rid of some of these apps, which I just did, I should free up some space.
I wasn't gonna say nothing about that either, but I said it's gonna be quiet over here.
Man, oh man, oh man. I hear you over there, Miss Wendy. I hear you.
So I want you to track now. I want you to see how much stuff you get done.
I will use, you know what? This is so funny. So a tomato popped up. The Pomodoro technique. Time management method.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing that I was sharing with you. But it's a physical timer. It should be a downloadable.
It should be an app.
Okay, let me look. Let me go to the app store again. Productivity timer. Okay. The little tomato is $1.99.
Is it $1.99? Oh, so it's changed.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, there's a different one that's just called productivity timer that's free.
Well, try that. That might be the same. That's fine, long as it's a productivity timer.
Right.
That's
I
what you.
figured that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one. Well, this one is called Focus Pomodoro Doro Timer and More, and that's free as well. So I'll find one. Too many options. I'm telling you, there's a whole lot. Clear Mind Productivity Timer.
Okay, just pick. I know we're gonna pick one today.
Okay, I'm
Right
gonna
before we
pick it.
get off.
I'm gonna pick it. You're right, because I'm not gonna get stuck on stupid. I'm gonna pick this one that's rated 5.0, and it's something I can't pronounce, but productivity timer nevertheless. Okay, I'm
Okay.
installing it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna start using that with your planning.
Yep,
And I think that'll help you, E.
I think so too, Wendy. I really do. Okay, I'm gonna open that one. Normal timer, Pomodoro method. So Pomodoro is a
It's a
procedure, it's a
yeah,
process. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
And then they have a yeah, exactly.
So I have an option, normal or Pomodoro method. So I'm gonna go with the Pomodoro
Yeah.
method. Time remaining already. I got 25 minutes to get something done because it
See?
popped right up. It's
See?
a tomato though.
Yeah, that's their logo.
Okay. Because I'm like, I still see tomato. Okay.
See?
All
There I
right.
tell you,
So
25 minutes.
I have gone cold turkey. I got rid of Blitz, Candy Crush, the other one, soda. Got rid of the
Mm-hmm.
soda crush. Got my three remaining games. They're gone. Okay.
Yay!
And I'm gonna get stuff done. Yeah, I know it's a revamping of my mind. I'm like, why can't
That's
I
all.
don't hold myself accountable with my time. So this is going to help me be accountable with my time.
Mm-hmm. And that
Because
it will do.
if you can spend a lot of time, even with the Lord, it's like, oh, I'm still praying. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still reading the word. And it's like, you didn't listen to. There's a couple people I will follow if they pray well, and I'm like, you didn't listen to this evangelist, you didn't listen to
Yeah.
that. You need to work.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I am. I know I'm gonna get once. I'll be so happy to get it done. I know it.
It feels so much better once you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be like you just, and then once you get started, you continue to go and get in that flow. But you have to reprogram yourself right now,
Yep. That is
and
so
that's
true.
all it is.
Whoops. Are you still there? What did I touch?
I'm still
That's
here.
what I get. Okay. I don't know what I just did. Good. Googly moogly.
So what I want you to do to wrap it up is that I want you to, now really have your schedule. Do your schedule today, and then how many? Now you have new goals. Your new goals is what? The 50 to 100 calls per day. Start to reach out to different clients.
Yep.
Having you have your proposal template. Really start working your LinkedIn yourself more with the inboxing and stuff because that's where your clients are. Researching those people, taking time out to have an educational day so you can learn more about marketing and sales. So people, when you see them on Periscope, if you're going to listen to anybody, listen to people talk about sales and stuff. Listen to those people.
Yep.
That's the strength. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're trying. That's what you said
Mm-hmm.
you needed to learn. And
That's my area. That's it.
so I would do that. And then, so that's, you need to have an educational day built in. Then you need to have the day that you're going to run your errands, grocery store, whatever it is. That's the day. So you doesn't take you away from the house randomly.
Yep. I'll have the same day because that's the other thing. I'll have it one day, but I'm
Yeah.
not consistent with that day.
And then send me your updated goals.
Okay.
Okay.
I will.
All right. Yay. Go
Thank
Eva
you.
deletion. Whoop, whoop. No more games. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, I feel like one of those, like, I guess, alcoholics, you have to confess that you're an alcoholic.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I felt like I went through that confession. It's like, yep, I'm a
Okay.
gamer. I call that gaming. I don't think that's really what gaming is, but You're like, what do you mean,
Okay.
gamer? I was like, yeah, video games.
It's okay. So I appreciate your honesty. I think it's going to be helpful. That
Yep.
helps me too.
Yep. And
Because I was
everything
just like,
that you
E has
said,
it. Something's when she's spending her time somewhere. Where is she spending her time?
that's it.
Yep. I knew it was
That's the
something. I was like,
biggest
something's
culprit.
not clicking. Something's not right. I knew it was something.
Yep. That is truly
I
it.
have one
And
client, I said, can you tell me what happened on Love and Hip Hop the other day? What about what's the other
who?
one? I said Love.
Uh-uh.
I said, tell me what happened on Love and Hip Hop, and tell me what happened on Basketball Wives, and what about that other new show called Tales? So she started rambling. So she thought I really wanted to be interested. I said, see, that's what the
No.
problem is. You spending too much time on TV because you were telling me about these shows. Because all I was doing was
Right.
sitting here holding my remote, and I was going through the thing trying to find something to ask her about. Yeah, I got her. So she was just like, you got me.
She walked right into that one.
Walked
She
right.
must be really young. Because I'm
Really?
like, come on.
No, she's not that young. She's our age. People, yeah. So but I knew. I was just like, because see, I'd already been stalking her Facebook page where she had put something on there about Love and Hip Hop. I knew you not to talk about Love and Hip Hop.
See,
Talking about your business because they already got their money. So yeah,
I know. And I mean, you know what? That's why it's like, this is what I would tell anybody else.
right.
This is what I know. So it's like, do what you know. And I'm like, you feel like a hypocrite. And that's another reason why I don't do a lot of scoping. When I told you that I don't do it, it's not because I'm afraid. It's always because when I open my mouth and I'm always challenging somebody, it's because I'm being challenged, and then I got to turn around and do what I'm saying.
That's good though. Then you need to do it. Then that's holding yourself accountable.
You're getting on my nerves right now.
I know. I told you about the love-hate relationship.
Yeah, buddy. I'm like, I know. But you're right. Bottom line is you're absolutely right. So
okay.
I got to do what I know. We're accountable for that.
All right.
All right, my dear. I thank you.
You are more than welcome.
Book. I have another book by him. I've got these books that if it doesn't something's got to click immediately, and I put it back on the shelf. So I put Obsessed back on the shelf. I've been reading Miles Monroe, and I've been listening to his CDs. And I think only because of what it's feeding me right now in the vein of leadership. But I know that you're right. So I'm going to go back to Obsessed because I read like a couple of pages, and I was like, I see why Wendy likes it, but it didn't click with E. But now I don't.
But it'll help you be obsessed. It'll teach you how to be obsessed with your passion.
See, and that's just it. So what I get obsessed about is leadership, right? Anything and everything that's on that just, it's like a drug.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The book Obsessed is about you being obsessed with whatever you are obsessed about with leadership. It okay. Really, you'll see. You'll need to read it.
I'll pick it back up because I was rolling. I was like, okay, I have the book. I'm gonna show her I got the book because she said I should get this book. But I'm gonna pick it back up. But yeah, I have this shelf of books that were recommended by people that I follow, and it's not a whole bunch. And I'm like, I read a couple of pages, and I'm like, it didn't click. It didn't click. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick it back up because
10X. 10X is good too.
That's by him too, right? Okay. But both of them, they're side by side on my bookshelf.
Lord have mercy.
I was like, he didn't click with me, and I felt him with his mom and how he went his way with his mom, and I got all that. They went from here to there. I got it.
Just see. Give it like 2 chapters, at least. Okay.
I will.
All right. Well, I'll get this to you as soon as it uploads.
I don't remember saying that. You said.
Yeah, I did.
It's for people to learn how to overcome. I mean, it doesn't work the same way, but culture shock is so real. And that's one of the most underplayed realities that people face when they go overseas. Because even for us, when I was 2 weeks in Ghana, and we were in Accra, and the truth was we were on the outskirts. So we were in the trenches. We weren't in the capital. We were on the outskirts where there ain't no paved roads, and it ain't no, street lights. And it's like you feel like you're in the jungle. You feel like it's just you and them for real, not putting anybody down. But no one talks about the culture shock. like, how do you deal with it when it hits so that you don't start isolating? Because we have people on the trip and they were like, I'm not coming out of my room, and we had to take these trips. I'm like, you didn't get sponsored however you got here to sit in your room because you were afraid
Right.
to go out. But they started freaking out after the excitement was cool the first 3 days. By that fourth day, they were like, I'm scared and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, we going. And I said, now you wasted my time, but we all going on this thing together. And they would laugh at me because they were like, what? You bossy. I'm like, call me all the names you want. And I didn't even know them because it was like all around, the country. We all got together. It was about 25 of us. And we went to Ghana. So these young chicks from Philly, and they were some hip hop girls, right? And I was like, what kind of ministry y'all into? Because they went shopping. They would come back. I'm like, somebody been drinking something, and I know it ain't what we drinking over here,
Uh-huh.
So they were partying, they were doing everything. But when it came down to ministering and going out in the rural areas, they did it one time, and they were like freaking out. I was like, oh no. I said, come on, you didn't come make this trip to get drunk and eat food that we were told not to eat. I'm like, y'all been crossing over on the other side. You need to come on over here and fulfill your purpose.
She said, fulfill your purpose. I love it.
But they were freaking out. They were totally not prepared. That's right. I was like, come on, fulfill your purpose. You ain't supposed to be up in the room. You just partied, and all the rest of us been praying, and you went partying. And now you scared because the devil got you. Like, yeah, you went over doing stuff. But I went through culture shock. And so did I went with my first lady, and she and I both were kind of like freaking out. We did what we needed to do. But I was like, by that second week, I was like, I'm ready to go home. And she was laughing. She was like, me too. I mean, we were like, this different spirit is so real. And we were prepared. We were taught certain words that we could say and not mess up and say and all this stuff, but they never really talked about how emotionally, prepared you really have to be.
Ain't that the truth?
So I was like, yeah, nobody really talks about that. They'll tell you all the good stuff and all the things you can expect to learn or experience, but baby, if you don't know.
Yeah. It's a lot.
You can get depressed, and then people come back home and I'm like, y'all acting like you've been in a war. When they have that post-traumatic, what is it? I'm saying it all wrong.
PTSD.
Right. And I'm like, you ain't been gone but a week. What you tripping? Like, come on, snap out of it.
Yeah, it's serious. If you really have to have a good mindset, and people don't realize that. So you usually like around this time, like I really have to get my mind mentally ready to go back. Like you have to. It's not.
I bet. And even once you're back home in the States, I bet you have to adjust some kind of way. Even though you're home, it's like when you're gone for long periods of time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
would love to be able to.
People don't realize.
I think so. And then when you working in all these different time zones, I really get why you don't have time for nothing else. I was like, "Ooh, she married. I don't even understand how she had time for her husband and her kids." I mean, you have to make it, but
you have to make it work. It comes a plan, and you got to do it.
I'm gonna do it. Well, I have to, because that reality check hit me. I'm like, year 3. That's it. After 2018 is literally around the corner. I have almost 6 months, and this year is over.
That's it.
So I know, and I don't want to be like Wendy. I'm working at Wendy's.
No, we're not doing that. That we're not doing.
Like, Wendy, I'm working at Wendy's.
We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. You'll be fine. You just gotta stay focused. But I think this will help too. What I really do with the whole gaming and all that. I think this will help.
Yeah, I'm with you 110%. I mean, now when I get off the phone, instead of going to grocery store and I'm not going to play any games, I'm going to use this app, and I'm going to do what I set to do yesterday, which was to get the course done. I'm just going to sit here and do it. If I get that one piece done, I know it's going to make all the difference.
It will.
However, I need to tweak it after that. That's fine, but at least I got the foundation.
Exactly.
Get it done.
You got it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day, and your son. So he's moved.
No. Tomorrow we move tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, we move tomorrow. But he's just moving in and he'll come back home for a while because they don't start school till like the 16th or something.
Okay. Well, you said for a while.
Well, I mean,
Today's
well,
the
the
8th.
weekend. Yeah. Instead of staying
Okay.
in school though. Yeah.
That's good. How far away is he?
He's only 45 minutes. And so is my daughter. They're
Oh,
both.
yeah.
Well, actually, no, she's 45. He's an hour. So it's not far.
That's
And then
good.
they're
That's
45
real
minutes from each other. So that's good.
excellent. All right.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Have a good
So
one.
I'll make sure to send